world. And after such success, you know.
This morning, I could not get surrounded by...
Cannot doubt that he will come. We all behaved charmingly. Everybody was in their best looks. Long face to be seen.
Bring the screen a little...
Bear him.
Well, I dare say he might have come if he could.
If he had told her simply and resolutely that he...
Goose. The fight because he knew how fond I was of them.
Harriet, you must sit over
I had it described as one of the finest houses in Yorkshire.
I have heard the same.
How can we admire a painting?
Identical.
Of course, if the dark gets dirty, it will not show. But the light...
Brother, in the sails. I can't... Noted friends.
Heaven forbid that I should ever bore anybody half as much about all the Knightleys together as Miss Bates does about Jane Fairfax.
I do hope Mr. Woodhouse is not ill.
Yes, it is very pretty.
Miss Woodhouse! You will never guess what has happened. Is it a good letter?
You must be the best judge of your own happiness. I saw her answer.
What are Harriet Smith's claims, either of...
These are not trivial recommendations, Mr. Knightley. Till men do fall in love with well...
Emma, to hear you abusing the reason you have is almost enough to make me think so too.
But as you make no secret of your love of matchmaking, it is fair to suppose that plans you have goes. But from his general way of talking, when there are only men present, I'm convinced that he does not mean to throw himself...
You certainly spared no expense.
I shall always be sorry you went to the sea this autumn instead of coming.
North End was the best place to go for the family.
You're so... dishevelled.
How are the children? Multiplying. My only moment's rest. Flourishing letter full of professions and falsehoods.
Your feeling gives me a decided prejudice in his favour.
Mrs. Churchill ruled...
Let it go its own way.
Mr.
Must be
Elton,
already
please,
well
you've
known
drunk too
my
much wine.
ardent attachment.
Mr. Elton! Forget yourself.
I have said or done for many weeks has been with the sole view of making my...
Himself. I will treasure it as a picture of my friend.
Baby, where is the baby?
Not stay away forever. The curate cannot...
Unfair one. I only know what is generally known.
Instances how Woodhouse.
For ch-
And she will surely think Frank ought to ask her.
We must send for Perry.
Yes, and I shall rouse my father.
I shall speak to Mr. E.
Very glad to open Donwell for your exploration, Mrs. Upday, until I have spoken to some others whom I would wish to form the party. There is an excellent prospect from the south window, Miss Smith. May I escort you?
Don't know the world's the lie. She has been to Ireland.
Will you?
Want to change? You were quite mistaken. I do not look upon myself. Obliged to you for telling me to come today. I had quite determined to go away again.
Best to pass it off as a joke.
3 things, very dull indeed. That will do just for me. I shall be sure to say 3 dull things as soon as I open my mouth.
Ah, Mum, but there is the difficulty. When have you ever stopped at 3?
Shall we walk, Augusta?
To a woman of her character and her notice
And
of
I'm
you is an
tired!
honour to have you now, in thoughtless spirit.
Go!
No, you see, there was a little bustle.
She is always so attentive to...
Emma. Frank was here this very morning on the most... Very much. It has hurt his father equally.
And have you any idea of Mr. Knightley's return?
Describe to me some particulars of the management of his town.
Emma! And they're delighted to forgive him. He's a fortunate man indeed.
You speak as if you envied him.
Determined, I see, to have no curiosity. You are wise.
Speak to me. As a friend.
I cannot make speeches. If I shall urge him to put his suit to Miss Smith a second time.
No, I must do it. Mr. Martin, I have a confession to make.